And welcome back to our coverage here at GenCon. I'm here with Bryan from Warpo, and you got some really cool looking green guy behind us, and I don't know what it is or what his name is, so
Cthulhu, maybe?
maybe it's something like that. I don't know, but you're doing something really awesome with Cthulhu right now.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, we earlier this year we launched a product line called Legends of Cthulhu. It's the first retro-inspired action figure line based on the works of H.P. Lovecraft.
Yes, and that's a really cool thing because I know people have really wanted to see something like this for a really long time, and I'm glad finally people have the ability to be able to do some of this stuff.
We, Legends of Cthulhu is the first product line for Warpo. We're a brand new toy company. And when we started doing the research to produce the line, we were actually surprised that it hadn't been done before. We kept like looking and searching, and there's been statuettes or individual action figures of Cthulhu, but no one's really like wrapped their arms around it and created a full brand around
a
it.
whole line of stuff. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and we knew, especially at GenCon, that people would love it. So we kept crossing our fingers and saying, this should work, right? This has got to work. But obviously the response that we've gotten through the Kickstarter and then here at GenCon has been amazing.
Very cool, very cool. Now, can you explain what are some of the characters you have?
Sure, yeah. So let me give you just a real quick background about what we do.
Okay.
We take kind of an artisanal approach or a role-playing approach, let's say, to making toys. So this is an imagining if 1981, a toy company had gotten a hold of the license of Lovecraft, or the property of Lovecraft, and blew it out as a full toy line. So we try to kind of get artisanal with the way that we're going to approach that. We try and act as if we're a toy company that existed during that time. So when we created the characters, we really created archetypes of all of the characters. So the professor is just an archetype of all the heroes from H.P. Lovecraft's stories. Just because I think back in the 80s. When you saw it in the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons cartoon that happened, they just kind of took liberties with that kind of stuff, or they knew that they were speaking to kids as opposed to us who would be speaking to other 40-year-old guys that are into Lovecraft, But I think it helps with the nostalgia factor. So we've got just the professor, he's our hero. We've got the cultist, a spawn of Cthulhu, not the actual Cthulhu, but spawn of Cthulhu, who's at 3 3/4 inch size.
Let's see if we can get a shot of that.
And then a deep one, who's like, the little blue fish man there. But the whole reason we went with the spawn of Cthulhu is because we knew in the future we would want the great old one, the giant Cthulhu, that the professor, is in the clutches of his arm or his hand, and having to fight.
So and the detail on it is amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, that's part of our process too. We worked with a sculptor named Eddie Mosqueda. He worked at Mattel in the early 80s. He did Masters of the Universe line. He did the rare Eldor figure and King Hiss, and he's did stuff for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and still working on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles today. So he sculpted everything by hand. He wasn't even working digitally, which was great for us because we wanted him to do it the way he would have done it back at that time, But he spent a lot of time on the figures and did just an amazing job.
So do you think a lot of people will be using these for role-playing games?
Possibly. I mean, of course we're at GenCon, so everybody, every 1 out of 10 people are coming up and like, so what's the game? How do we play this? They could easily use them for role-playing or miniatures games, I haven't seen it yet. Actually, when we were at another con, a guy was interested in bringing in our large 12-inch Cthulhu to use in gaming, so
nice.
It could possibly work because they're all close to scale, I guess.
But I really like what you're doing here. So what are your plans to go on from here?
So earlier this year we launched the 4 figures in the of the 3 3/4 inch. In November we'll be shipping the large 12-inch Cthulhu.
Nice.
And also our new Legends of Cthulhu Collectors Club kit. Which is everything that you would have gotten from a mail-away fan club kit back in the day. You get your introductory letter from the professor introducing you to the Society of Cthulhu Investigators. You've got your signet ring that lets you know you're a part of the club.
Nice.
The Cthulhu patch, a background to put your figures in front of, retail version of the coloring book, all kinds of things that like. All those kind of things that we really geek out on, and wish were around when we were kids,
Right.
And then in the future, we've got some new brands that we'll be launching, a new Kickstarter that we're launching in November. And then we've committed to doing Wave 2, so Wave 2 of Legends of Cthulhu will be out probably late 2016.
Very nice. So you got a lot of work ahead of you.
Yeah. Luckily, GenCon's not tiring or anything,
No, not at all. So where can they get if they're not here, where can they go get it?
Warpo.com, WARPO.com. We've got a retailer site or page on our site where we're selling through ThinkGeek, and you can get it at your local comic book stores, all kinds of outlets, BigBadToyStore.com. So go to Warpo.com to learn about the toy company and Legends of Cthulhu.
All right, Bryan. Well, thanks a lot for being talking to us and being on Geek Out SA. But I'm Vince. This is Bryan. Geek Out SA.